Hello friends, today we will discuss economics for class 12th. This is our chapter foreign exchange rate. So we will deep dive into this chapter and learn the fundamentals. This is our introduction. So let's understand this. Meaning of foreign exchange rate. What is the meaning of foreign exchange rate? So all countries have their own currencies which are readily acceptable within their respective territories. We know that. Like in India, we have rupees. In US, we have dollar. In England, we have pound. That is also called pound. I hope this is clear to you. However, currency of one country is generally not accepted in another country. So we know that because of international payment, there is a standard followed and not every currency is accepted. Not every currency is accepted. So currency of one country has to be converted into currency of another country because every country wants the payment in its own currency. So if you think that Russia and India is doing trade, right? If they are doing trade, and if you want that Russia accept Indian rupees, they won't, right? Or maybe if you want China is doing trade with India, they exchange, like China accepts Indian rupees, they will not, right? They want money in their own currencies, so they do not accept any other country's currency. Are you understand what is meaning of foreign exchange rate? So basically, every country has got their own currencies, right? Which are readily acceptable within their domestic territories, right? If you go in Japan, so their own currency will be accepted, not Indian currency, right? If you go in, let's say Israel, so their currency will be accepted, not Indian currency. I hope this make clear. Next is foreign exchange. So what is foreign exchange? Foreign exchange refers to all currencies other than domestic currency of a given country. Of a given country. All other currencies other than the domestic currency of a given country. For example, India's domestic currency is Indian rupee, and all other currencies like US dollar, British pound, Kuwaiti dinar are foreign exchange. Foreign exchange simply means foreign currency, right? Foreign currency other than domestic currency, rest are foreign country currency that are called foreign exchange. Example, if an American export goods to India, if they export goods to India, it would like to receive payment in dollars. As simple as that. If they are making any export, they would like payment in dollars. As a result, Indian importers will have to convert Indian rupees into American dollars to make the payment, right? Because we don't have dollars with us, so we would like to exchange, right, or convert our rupees into American dollars to make the payment, right? So it creates the problem of converting of one currency to into another and fixing the rate at which the two currencies are to be exchanged. So what we have to do, there is a problem of converting of one currency into another and fixing the rate at which two currencies are to be exchanged. So, so when we had a question like we have to convert this rupees into American dollars, so the question arises how we will convert and what is the rate at which we will convert it. In fact, it is the problem of determination of foreign exchange rate. It is the problem of determination of foreign exchange rate. So what is the foreign exchange rate? So now the foreign exchange rate refers to the rate at which one currency is exchanged for the other. In which one currency is exchanged for the other, like we are exchanging rupees with dollar, rupees with dollar, right? it represents it represents the price of one currency in terms of another currency. Like in terms of another currency, what is the price of our currency? I hope you understand this. For example, $1 can be exchanged for rupees 81 then the value of 1 rupees will be equal to 1 divided by $81, that is equal to 0.123 dollars, or we can call it in cents, right? So foreign exchange rate measures the number of units of one currency required to exchange with one unit of another, right? If exchange rate for pound and rupees is, what is the rate for 1 pound, I get 105 rupees, so the ratio is 1 is to 105. So what is the exchange rate measure? Exchange rate measures the number of units of one currency is required, that how many units of one currency is required to exchange with unit of another, to exchange with one unit of another. So in order to get 1 pound, in order to get 1 pound, pound is generally accepted in UK, right? We need almost 105 rupees to exchange or to get 1 pound. Next, so the exchange rate can fluctuate from year to year, even day to day, right? So what happens, because of market, these prices may vary year to year and day to day. Even the day to day transactions may vary this rate, right? Dollar, if it is trading at rupees, let's suppose 80 rupees today, and tomorrow, because of the market, it may reach to 85 rupees. So there is no surprise in that. In a country, there are many foreign exchange rates, there are foreign currencies. Like many other prices, exchange rate is determined by the forces of demand and supply. So just I explained you, like here, the rates may differ on a day-to-day basis or year-to-year basis, just because these rates are determined by the forces of demand and supply, and because of their demand and supply, the rates may differ. Suppose if there is sudden requirement of dollar in the market, so the price of the dollar will rise from 85 to 90 when there is more demand, and vice versa. If there is lesser demand, if there is more supply and demand is less, then the price will decrease to 70. I hope this is clear. Now next, move on to currency depreciation and currency appreciation, right? So what is currency depreciation? So currency depreciation refers to decrease in the value of domestic currency in terms of foreign currency. In terms of foreign currency, it makes the domestic currency less valuable and more of it is required to buy the foreign currency. That means we are depreciating our own currency in terms of foreign currency. For example, rupee is said to be depreciating if price of $1 rises from 81 to rupees 82. Then we will say rupee is depreciating. Rupee is depreciating. While a change, right? This is a case of very simple case of depreciation. So what do you mean by currency depreciation? When the value of domestic currency decrease in the value of domestic currency in terms of foreign currency, so our currency become less valuable. See over here, earlier the price of, when we used to purchase $1, we had to pay only 81 rupees, but now we are paying 82 rupees. So our currency has become less valuable, or our domestic currency has decreased. Next, a change from $5 is equals to rupees 4. So it is a 5 pound. So we can say that if $5 exchanged for 4 pounds and $4.5 is same exchanged for 4 pounds, represents the UK pound is depreciating, because you are buying the same 4 pounds in the 0.5 less cents American dollars, right? I hope this makes clear to you. Next is effects of depreciation of domestic currency. What is the effects of depreciation of domestic currency? So when the domestic currency depreciates, so increase in exports, decrease in imports, increase in national income. So how it happens? Let's understand this. Increase in exports. Depreciation of domestic currency means fall in price of domestic currency, say rupees. So if you have a rupees, we have the fall in our prices in terms of foreign currency, right? So exports to USA will increase as they will become relatively cheaper. So what happens when we are selling goods or sending goods or we are exporting? Let's suppose our $1 is traded at rupees 80, right? And 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 now the same $1 can buy 85 rupees worth of products. So similarly, our products will become relatively cheaper for the American market, right? So our products has become more cheaper for the American market just because there is depreciation of the domestic currency. Hence it will lead to increase in exports because they will buy our products more, and this is kind of a one of the strategy that can be adopted by the countries to increase their exports, right? So they buy more from India. I hope this make clear. Decrease in imports. So what is decrease in imports means? Depreciation will lead to decrease in imports as Indian will have to pay more domestic currency or to import goods. It leads to fall in imports as foreign goods becomes relatively costly. So it is a vice versa. So when we are exporting, we are just simply exporting because our currency has depreciated, and since it will increase our export because our product will become cheaper to the foreign market, right? Our product will become cheap to the foreign market, but similarly we will decrease our imports, right? Because we have to pay more price to buy those goods that we earlier were buying for rupees, let's suppose 100 rupees, like now we will be buying the same for rupees 120, right? I hope this is clear because import has become comparatively costlier or their products has become comparatively more costlier. Next is increase in national income. So what happens? As exports will increase and imports will fall due to depreciation of domestic currency, net exports, so we call it net exports, will increase. So it will increase the national income assuming no change in other things. So what happens? So we are more increasing the export, right? Focusing on export and less focusing on imports. We are less focusing on imports, focusing on more on exports. So when there is more exports and less imports, so ultimately there will be net exports, and net exports will be reflected in the national income. Hence, the national income will rise. Okay. Hence, once again, a quick recap of what we have studied so far. So again, this is what we are studying for our economics for class 12th. First, we learned about what is foreign exchange rate, right? Foreign exchange rate, I mean, there are different currencies: American dollar, Indian rupees, British pound, and when currency of one country generally not accepted in another country, so and every country wants the payment in their own currency. What is foreign exchange? Foreign exchange refers to all currencies other than domestic currency. All currencies other than domestic currency. Example, if an American goods firms exports to India, it would like to receive payment in the dollars, right? As a result, importers will have to convert. So the question arises, how they will convert? Problem of converting and the rate, at the rate. So foreign exchange refers to the rate at which one currency is exchanged with the other. So as we have seen in this example, so 1 rupees is traded at rupees 1 by $81, which is approximately taken as value $0.123, and 1 pound is equal to 105 rupees, which is in the ratio 1 is to 105. Again, we have understood what is currency depreciation, right? So currency can fluctuate year to year or day to day basis because of the forces of demand and supply. Currency depreciation is reduction in the value of the currency. Our currency has become less valuable, right? Now, similarly, we have seen in this example, right, the price of $1 earlier was rupees 81 rupees to 82 rupees. The rupee has depreciated. So in such scenario, we will try to increase our exports because our goods become relatively more cheaper. Vice versa, we will reduce our imports because foreign goods will appear more costly, and which will ultimately results in the national income because our net exports or exports will increase, which will ultimately add it back to the national income. Hence, this is our currency depreciation. In our next class, we will understand what is currency appreciation. Thank you so much.